Good morning students. Today we are going to discuss liquefaction of helium and Kapitza's helium air liquefier process. This is the Kapitza's helium air liquefier. Before going to discuss Kapitza's helium air liquefier, we have to know that before 1908 all gases are liquefied except helium, because helium is having critical temperature very low, minus 268.8 degrees Celsius. If we need to convert helium gas into liquid, we have to decrease its temperature less than this temperature. So what is critical temperature? We have already studied in curve of vaporization. The maximum temperature on the curve of vaporization is called critical temperature. At this point, when we decrease the temperature of the substance is converted into liquid. If we increase the temperature from this point, the substance is converted into gas. So increasing temperature is easy. We can supply heat energy and we can increase temperature. But decreasing temperature is very difficult. We have to decrease minus 268.8 degrees Celsius. And we also studied that in Joule-Thomson effect, if the initial temperature of gas is less than the inversion temperature of gas, if we send through porous plate, then we can experience cooling effect. If initial temperature is greater than the inversion temperature, then we can observe heating effect. Here we can use this. If we have initial temperature of helium gas less than its inversion temperature, we can apply this cooling effect for decreasing the temperature of helium gas. The first scientist, Kamerlingh Onnes, after his systematic study, succeeded liquefying the helium gas. Now we will discuss briefly how Kamerlingh Onnes first liquefied helium gas. Kamerlingh Onnes, after his systematic study, said that helium gas is having inversion temperature minus 240 degrees Celsius, and we need, for doing Joule-Thomson effect and cooling the gas, to achieve less than this temperature, we need helium gas less than this inversion temperature. So Kamerlingh Onnes and his co-workers sent this helium gas, which is more than inversion temperature, through hydrogen bath. Then helium gas temperature is decreased to minus 258 degrees Celsius. This minus 258 degrees Celsius is less than the inversion temperature. Then this minus 258 degrees Celsius gas is subjected to Joule-Thomson effect. Then by using Joule-Thomson effect, this minus 258 degrees Celsius gas is less than the inversion temperature minus 240 degrees Celsius. Then the gas is cooled to less than this 268.8 degrees Celsius. At that temperature, less than this temperature, the helium gas is converted into liquid. The first scientist succeeded in liquefying helium is Kamerlingh Onnes. Later, this fluid method, which the Kamerlingh Onnes done, is modified by Kapitza, and he introduced Kapitza helium air liquefier, and is based on adiabatic expansion and Joule-Kelvin effect. Now we are going to know how Kapitza converted helium gas to liquid. Here we need to decrease its temperature less than minus 268.8 degrees Celsius. So now we are going to know how he decreased. He firstly compressed the helium gas to 30 atmospheric pressure. Then here he is doing compression. Due to compression, the gas slightly, its temperature increases. The heat of compression is removed by flowing the water in a jacket surrounding a portion of this tube. The gas is flowing through this tube. By keeping water around the tube, we decreased the temperature increased due to compression. Then the gas flows through this tube like this. Here we have arranged liquid nitrogen bath. This liquid nitrogen bath is very cool, so it absorbs the some amount of heat from the helium gas when it is passing through these pipes, and makes the helium gas to minus 208 degrees Celsius. So here we need to achieve less than this minus 268.8 degrees Celsius, and the inversion temperature is minus 240 degrees Celsius, and we have achieved minus 208 degrees Celsius. We have to move like this. To convert helium gas into liquid, we have to move like this, decreasing its temperature. Now from here, after getting minus 208 degrees Celsius, the gas enters into this chamber. Here in this chamber, the gas splitted into two parts. Here like this, the gas flows along this tube and enters into expansion engine, where here adiabatic expansion is done. We move this piston backward. We make the gas to expand adiabatically. Due to adiabatic expansion, minus 208 degrees Celsius temperature is decreased to minus 263 degrees Celsius, which is very close to minus 268.8 degrees Celsius. So now from here, expansion engine to minus 263 degrees Celsius gas moves here like this. By moving like this, it's having minus 263 degrees Celsius, and this gas is moving like this. It's having minus 208 degrees Celsius. Here heat exchange done. Here this cooled gas absorbs the heat of this gas and cools down this gas. As this gas is getting cooled due to heat exchange here, when this gas enters here into this nozzle, where the Joule-Thomson effect occurs here, the gas moving from high pressure region to low pressure region, again its temperature decreases, and finally it achieves less than minus 268.8 degrees Celsius, where we can collect the liquid helium gas. Liquid helium gas like this. This gas again moves, the gas which exchanged heat energy which is flowing through this tube, again moves to this chamber through this tube, and here again when we press the gas again follows the same process and reaches here, and again it splits into two parts. Some part of the gas reaches to the expansion engine at its temperature decreases to 263 degrees Celsius, and this minus 2 degrees Celsius gas here exchanges heat of the minus 208 degrees gas, and when this 208 degrees gas decreases its temperature and reaches here, it expands Joule-Thomson expansion, and its temperature decreases less than minus 268 degrees Celsius, and the gas is converted into liquid. This process gets repeated until we collect more liquid helium. Here the cooling the incoming gas, here we are cooling this incoming gas by heat exchanging. Here in heat exchanger in this chamber, this gas is having minus 260 degrees Celsius, and this gas is having minus 208 degrees Celsius. We are cooling this minus 208 degrees Celsius gas by minus 260 degrees Celsius gas. This process of cooling the incoming gas by the gas which has been already cooled is called regenerative cooling. Here regenerative cooling means here the gas is split into two parts. Here this part of the gas is having minus 208 degrees Celsius. When passing here, this gas is cooled to minus 263 degrees Celsius. By adiabatic expansion, heat exchange is done. and this gas is cooled. Its temperature is decreased. This process is called regenerative cooling. Once the regenerative cooling is done here, this gas enters here. Here Joule-Thomson effect occurs where the gas is entering from high pressure region to low pressure region. Again its temperature is decreased and it attains minus 268 degrees Celsius. We get helium gas is liquefied. This is the Tepitz's helium air liquefier.